Michigan is off to a 3-0 start, defeating Colorado State, Hawaii, and UConn by a total of 166-17. Many Michigan fans, including myself, are ready for the Wolverines to face some tougher competition. Good news, it's week 4, and it's time for the Big Ten schedule to begin. But before we get to that, quick thank you to Scott Thomas for the super thanks. If you want to support the channel, you can leave a super thanks down below in the comments, or you can join the Maze Out, which is the YouTube channel membership here. By joining the Maze Out, you'll get a helmet sticker by your name, and you can use custom emojis in the chat and in the comments below. Michigan starts Big Ten play at noon on Saturday against the Maryland Terrapins. This is the 11th meeting between Michigan and Maryland. Michigan is 9-1 all-time in the series. Last year's game was played in Maryland and resulted in a 59-18 win for Michigan. It was the Donovan Edwards coming out party, 170 yards receiving. It's the battle of the unbeatens because Maryland is 3-0 also. They have wins over Buffalo, Charlotte, and SMU. The SMU game was not pretty for Maryland. SMU actually had the lead late in the third quarter, and the game was tied until Maryland scored with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. The positives for Maryland are they had 225 yards rushing, and Talia Tagovailoa was accurate, but they also gave up 10 out of 21 third down attempts by SMU, and SMU totaled 30 first downs in that game. Also, Maryland committed 15 penalties. The Terrapins played very undisciplined football, and also their defense was not very good. They gave up 520 total yards to SMU, including 369 through the air. I think the Maryland offense is going to present some challenges because Tagovailoa has been pretty good through a few games. He's got 895 yards, and their top two running backs are averaging about 9 yards a carry with 7 touchdowns between them. I think we'll probably learn a little bit more about Michigan's pass rush and about their defensive backs because this is going to be the best offense that they've played yet by a lot. You know, Michigan didn't have a sack in the last game, and that's because UConn's quarterback was just getting the ball out very quickly. I wonder if Maryland will take the same approach and just do really quick 3-step drops, get the ball out, and just try to run the ball and do quick pass plays because I don't think it's going to work out well for them if they try to really drop back. I know Tagovailoa can run. He had 50 rushing yards in their last game, but I'm anxious to see what their offensive plan is. You know, maybe they go 5 wide and just try to get the ball out really quickly and really test Michigan's defensive backs and not let the D-line get in there for sacks. The major advantage is going to be Michigan's offense against Maryland's defense, though, because if they just gave up 520 yards to SMU, I expect Michigan to be able to do whatever they want on offense because the wide receiver depth, the tight end depth at Michigan is tremendous, so they should be able to move the ball through the air. Got all the confidence in the world in J.J. McCarthy. Let's just hope he stays healthy because Caden McNamara is going to be out for a few weeks. And Michigan is going to try to find who's the best backup right now. Jim Harbaugh said he's going to go between a few different guys to see. From what I've seen, probably Davis Warren is that guy. He just looks the part. Of course, Orji in the red zone is a great option too. So fingers crossed that JJ just stays healthy. Let's not take any hits this Saturday, okay? Another thing I think is worth noting is that Michigan hasn't really had to play a full game yet. The offense has pretty much been in second gear. Starters are coming out. Sometimes at halftime, sometimes in the third quarter. They haven't really had to push it for a full game. We don't know what the offense is going to look like for 4 full quarters. Michigan is coming into this game with the number 1 scoring offense in the country, 55.3 points per game, and the number 4 scoring defense in the country, 5.7 points per game through 3 weeks. And Blake Corum leads the nation with 7 rushing touchdowns, thanks in large part to last week where he scored 5. Maryland is actually edging out Michigan in yards per game on offense, 499 to 497, but if you flip that around to the defense, Michigan is only giving up 194 yards a game. Maryland is giving up 392. The Wolverines opened as a 15.5 point favorite in this game, and now the line is up to 17.5. Gonna read a little bit from this Maize and Brew article called Jim Harbaugh and his team heading to the Big Ten opener. They know what time it is. When asked what he's learned over the course of the first 3 games of the season, Harbaugh simply replied, "A lot," until the true answer hit him: momentum. The thing we know now is the momentum built last season, and the momentum built in the offseason and has continued into the season. Harbaugh also raved about the special teams unit performance against UConn, which included a blocked punt and a punt return touchdown. Apparently several guys are trying to get in on the action, as Harbaugh discussed numerous players chomping at the bit for the opportunity to play special teams this season. The often overlooked third side of the ball remains a strength for the Wolverines under special teams coordinator Jay Harbaugh. Last week when watching that UConn game, one thing that really stood out to me was the wide receiver blocking. Harbaugh raved a little bit about that too, He said they've taken the challenge and want to see how good they can get. Harbaugh went as far to say that perimeter blocking is the best he has ever seen it at Michigan. When talking about the Maryland game, Harbaugh said, "Win the next game, that's first and foremost," and he's frequently discussed how conference games count as two, and said the team is excited about the challenge of defending the Big Ten title. They know what time it is. When evaluating Maryland's offense, Harbaugh was very complimentary of every position group and summed it up with, "They're really talented. It's going to be a great challenge for us." The injuries are starting to accumulate for the Wolverines, unfortunately. Donovan Edwards has missed some time. Cade McNamara is going to be out for a while. Trevor Keegan has also been banged up, along with Carson Barnhart. I don't think any of those injuries are serious, though, except, Cade being out for a few weeks. I wanted to bring up this tweet that I saw from Stats of War called "College Football's Most Efficient Teams." The higher you are up, the better your offense is. The further to the right, the better your defense is. And the way that the season has gone so far, Michigan's in pretty good shape. The only teams that really stand out as being better for sure offensively are Ohio State, Georgia, and Oklahoma. Minnesota is up there, which is surprising. And look at Minnesota's offense and defense to put them in a very good spot. So really the best teams on this thing are Ohio State, Oklahoma, Georgia, Minnesota, Michigan. I guess that's James Madison over there making an appearance. What up, James Madison? USC's offense is good as well, but their defense has them toward the left side. Oh, look who's way down here. Iowa. The abysmal offense, the cellar dwellers of offense. And then you'll see a couple of Michigan's opponents over here. Colorado State, awful. And Hawaii, really bad in both areas. We'll see where Michigan lands on that graph after this game. My prediction, Michigan 52, Maryland 17. I think Michigan's going to cover. I think that they're going to give Tagovailoa problems. I think Michigan's offense is going to have no problem, and they're going to put up 50 for the fourth straight game. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Maze Out membership if you want to support the channel. And as always, go blue.